largest white supremacist website on the internet has its best day.
We saw a huge increase in membership to the largest neo-Nazi website on the internet called Stormfront.
And we've already had 5 times the traffic that we've ever had. I mean, it's just overwhelming. Our servers can't even hardly keep up with it.
So what does Daryl Johnson do with all this information that he's been gathering about this growing movement after Obama is elected?
So Johnson and his team have been steadily compiling all of their findings into a report.
Mm-hmm.
And the new Department of Homeland Security chief, Janet Napolitano, is very, very interested in whatever might be going on the far right.
Mm-hmm.
She was very much aware that there were threats made to Obama during the campaign, and she's really nervous about what could potentially happen to Obama. And so she asked Johnson, what's up with the far right?
And she asked, are we seeing a rise in right-wing extremism? And if so, what's causing it?
So Daryl, who's been working on this report, now takes everything he's learned, puts it together in like a greatest hits, and briefs Janet Napolitano.
Yeah, it's actually quite informal. It's called a desk side briefing, where you have a manager sitting at the head of a conference table. And then seated around the conference table, there was myself, who was to the left of Secretary Napolitano, and there were people fanned out around the edges of the room listening to the briefing.
In this briefing, he lays it out that because of the election of the first Black president, because of the ongoing financial crisis, and because of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and this really large number of veterans that are now home and disillusioned, the far right is presented with kind of a unique opportunity. They have all of these factors that can help drive recruitment. Did she seem interested?
Yes, she did. She, flipped through the pages of the briefing slides. She nodded her head several times in agreement with what we were saying. She thanked us at the end and thought it was a very well presented briefing.
When they finished the briefing, they moved forward with the report. It went through various reviews. It went through vetting.
I remember going home and receiving a text message from my supervisor congratulating me on a job well done.
So the report goes out. Daryl goes home.
And lo and behold, as I'm driving in my minivan, I had the radio on and a news program came on.
What is the purpose normally of these assessments, and how unique is it to get one like this?
It's very unique, and it's a very threatening assessment because
said that DHS had released this report that was spying on conservatives and demonizing Republicans.
Well, I'm afraid that's the signal that if you're going to protest against Obama, he's going to know who you are. And this kind of intimidation is so un-American.
And I was like, holy crap, they're talking about the report that I just wrote, and I couldn't believe it.
And the next thing you know,
I get to work early, got there Monday, and utter chaos had broken out in the office over the weekend.
It's beginning to hit sort of more mainstream conservative sites.
Speak out, get shut down. What some say the government is doing right now to silence its critics.
If you disagree with that liberal path that President Obama's taken the country down, you may soon catch the attention of the Department of Homeland Security.
There are no Timothy McVeighs out there right now.
We are not extremists. They are the extremists.
The Ops Center was calling because they were being inundated with phone calls.
And it ultimately makes its way to Congress.
Has this Homeland Security